What is that one piece of advice or words of wisdom you want to give to the world, the viewers who are watching us today?
People always say life is too short, and sometimes when you're living it, it seems so long. But I think what's super important to remember is that everything that we're doing will finally add up. Don't hold yourself back because you feel, oh my God, what if it won't work out? It's okay, something else will. But you will regret more for not trying as opposed to the fear of failing. It's important to realize that life's going to be a bit like roots and wings.
Yes.
So no matter how you fly away, it is important to keep finding that balance, to keep coming back and nurturing your soul. Hi, I'm Sukhleen Aneja. Welcome to my home. The most important conversations are the ones that we have with ourselves in moments where we are afraid, in moments when things don't work for us. Today, in our catch up with Sakshi, join us to have very honest conversations about who we are, what makes us tick. This is my home, truly my sanctuary, and would love for you to get a glimpse of life beyond the boardrooms, beyond the business, in a very honest chat on what makes us tick.
Sukhleen, firstly, thank you so much for inviting us home.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Sakshi.
Sukhleen, how does your morning look like before the world knows you are awake?
Usually mornings are busy with, I have 4-year-olds, so mornings are all about them. And I think it's just a time which makes us wake up with a lot of gratitude and reflection. And as we start our day, usually that's the time, like lot of moms like to read to their kids.
Yeah.
I enjoy reading to them when we are heading to school. That becomes the time when we're all fresh and we pick one of our favorite books and we read together.
Yes.
And I think that just becomes our time and chatting away to glory.
What do you do when you just need to feel like Sukhleen, not a professional, not a mother, but just you?
I think just for myself, time probably post kids has been harder to get. But yes, sometimes when you travel and those days when you're with yourself, those moments become very precious. I think when I'm with myself, I really enjoy reading.
Yeah.
I really enjoy being in the nature, being in the outdoor. And I think even when I'm with myself as well, I think I really cherish sometimes just getting a coffee by myself and, just watching the world go by and just observing from a distance. So I think those become really precious moments which you like savoring. I think the other thing which gives me a lot of energy is to catch up with friendships which are a lifetime old.
Yes.
I think that really
That is
does.
true love, and I had recently read a quote also saying the true love that, the world keeps talking about is the friendship that has lasted for the longest time.
100%. And I really believe in it, Sakshi. I think in the journey, if you're able to treasure those friendships and realize that those are the people who loved you and nurtured you and they're going to be by your side, that's probably your greatest provenance. And I actually say this to everybody that, when people tell you journey is more important than the destination, we often don't understand what in that journey really matters. I think what in that journey, the way I've understood, is the journey of being able to create something which you're incredibly proud of, but with people where you've grown together.
The
And
heart
that's why
matters.
and that really matters, right? Like in your professional life as well as your personal life. I think just the fact that you can pick a handful of people where you say, wow, I've enjoyed being with them. It's so important, right? And I think whether it's your friendships from school, your friendships that you make at work, or people you've met in your journey, but you've really treasured them, I think it's incredibly important. And that's something I always encourage people that no matter how busy you are, take that time out to energize yourself, and your energy always comes. You may not get what you're wishing for then, but there's so much more that you got granted that you also need to be thankful for.
And also the sense of realization, people have forgotten the joy of small things.
Yeah.
And I think when you, or anybody for that matter, when we visit the place that has purpose for us, which is the temples or Gurudwara, it makes you realize कि छोटी-छोटी चीजों में बहुत खुशियाँ होती हैं.
That's true. That's true. But I think for the other thing I see is even children, right? If they are able to, you learn so much when you actually have kids. And I think this is something. So I had kids after quite a few years of our marriage, and I must confess, I think if people tell you in the whole rainbow of life, what was the most life-changing event that helped you grow as a person, I think motherhood would definitely stand out as that top experience for me. And one of those reasons is the fact that they just make you realize the joy of simplicity.
Oh, yes, and the naive and the innocence.
And most importantly, how they're able to create playtime out of nothing. You don't need so much to be happy, but you just need to have that creativity, the ability to just be able to enjoy yourself anywhere. You can break into a song and a dance in a car and still make it a fun moment for yourself.
Of course.
So I think, we stop being kids as we grow up. We tend to take ourselves so seriously. I think some of those things just evaporate when you're around children. I think
we should learn to let go.
Yeah. I think children are the best way, right? They'll fight 1 minute, the next minute they'll be hugging the same friend, the next minute they'll forget about it. I think that childlike spirit of letting go, living in the moment, creating play out of everything, I think these are amazing gifts, and so much optimism. Look, the way a child looks forward to life, with so much ahead of them. I think that optimism is priceless. So.
Wonderful sight to see too. But, now that we've also spoken about serious conversation, let's go have some fun. So I entered your house and all I could see is art. So it felt like entering an art studio. So tell me about the pieces at home and how you are emotionally connected to them, because they wouldn't land up at home, right? Otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. So art actually means, I would say, different things to different people. But I think one thing which is unanimously felt is, I think anyone who ever collects any piece, whether it's an art piece or a sculpture, I think it just fundamentally connects to you. There's a story that actually connects to who you are. So I think if I could show you in terms of the pieces that really mean something to me, I think for me, the first piece I actually brought when we moved in was a tapestry from Krishan Khanna, which is right there. And incidentally, Krishan Khanna painted the Bandwalas and was born in Pakistan, and so was my mom. So my mom was born in Faisalabad, and I think there's there's that sense of association of the roots where it comes from. Then, of course, the other artist I'm extremely fond of is Jaishi Burman, and she's someone who brings in so much Indianness with her eye for detail. So I think that's another piece that I absolutely love, for that creativity and the intricacies with which she's able to bring in human emotion through a paintwork. So I think those two are really special for me. And I think beyond that, most of the things that we've collected over the years are just collections from our travels. It's just a story of the little life that we've lived together. So, and I think homes always have to feel like homes before anything else. So I think when you come in, you should just feel like,
and it's colorful and it makes you feel so alive. And it's a part of your heart through art.
Yeah. I think there's a creative side to each one of us. And I think every time you do your home, it's just an expression of who you are. So I think every one of us probably pours their heart out when they build their first home.
Oh, always.
So always.
It's a dream, right?
Absolutely.
So Sukhleen, I need to understand you a lot better, and so does our audiences. So a couple of questions where you just give one word answer. It will be tough, but I'm sure we'll both go through it. Okay, so Sukhleen, talk to me about your career and your work-life balance, where you've traded something for something else, and how did you prioritize that? One word.
I think can't say it in a word, but maybe a line. That would be, career is not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'd love to work till the end of time. So it's just about accelerating further, and sometimes taking 2 steps backward to prioritize life.
Wonderful. What is that one aspect of motherhood that you enjoy and you wait for that day to come?
I think it's everyday playtime.
Yes. Okay. What is that one thing that your children have taught you that no MBA or books could ever do that?
I think living in the moment.
What is that feeling when you are at the Gurudwara doing seva? One thought that crosses your mind every single time.
I think it's just gratitude.
5 years from now, who is Sukhleen Aneja like?
I just wish I'm still working, scaling, building businesses, and just working with people who give me a lot of energy. But more importantly, would love to see businesses scale.
But before I let you go, what is that one piece of advice or words of wisdom? I'm not talking about professional careers here. I'm talking about life with purpose and faith in general. What is that one thing you want to, give to the world and the viewers who are watching us today?
Sakshi, I think the one thing that I truly feel a lot of us can reflect on, I think is, people always say life is too short. And sometimes when you're living it, it seems so long. But I think what's super important to remember is that everything that we're doing will finally add up, right? So there's nothing that is good or bad. it's all adding up to making you the person that you become. So I think first, definitely go out and take your chances. You know, don't hold yourself back because you feel, oh my God, what if it won't work out? It's okay, something else will. But you know, you will regret more for not trying as opposed to the fear of failing. So I think that's one thing. If you're able to just say it's all going to be okay, it actually is more often than always. So no matter how busy we get in creating what we are or in chasing and following our dreams, it's important to realize that life's going to be a bit like roots and wings.
Yes.
You know, so no matter how you fly away, it is important to keep finding that balance, to keep coming back and nurturing your soul.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is so beautifully put, and you know, it actually hits your heart and it's overwhelming. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Akshay.
For you know, giving me all the wisdom, and it has been a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot for making this happen.
No, thank you, Sukhleen. And this was our conversation with Sukhleen Aneja, where she shared her heart, everything under the sun too, talking about her faith, her relationship, how important friendship is, the vision for Nykaa, and who she is beyond the boardroom. Thank you so much for viewing Off the Clock, and see you for the next one.